Hey everybody, Guy here. Welcome back to the Chit Chat podcast. Thanks for listening. Thanks for coming along for this little journey. This is episode 4. I just got done recording with my friend, Casey Krafnick. I've known Casey for the last year or two and got to know her at the chamber. It was a fun conversation. She works for an organization called United Way, and so we talked a bit about that and about St. Cloud and what we love here and all kinds of other fun, silly things. So thanks for listening. We sure appreciate those of you that are here and listening. I've said it before, and I'll probably keep saying it, but our commitment is we want to host a really fun podcast with really, really fun people in our community. And we're gonna do 52 of them at least, one every single week for a whole year. And I hope we keep going after that, but we're just going to see what this thing looks like. But we for sure are going to do 52 of them. So thanks for listening now. And I'm so excited that you get to hear a fun conversation with my friend, Casey. All right. Well, Casey, welcome. Thank you so much for coming to the Chit Chat podcast.
Chit Chat.
Here's the goal with this podcast. You ready? The goal is for us to have a really nice little conversation. Maybe it's serious, but maybe it's not serious, which is why it's a chit chat.
I'll say, I hope it's not that serious.
Yeah. We're going to talk about St. Cloud and what's happening in central Minnesota, and we're drinking some coffee. Okay, so some coffee drinks. Mm-hmm. So here, I don't know if you know, but what's this called?
This is called the Owen, and it's actually not a coffee drink.
What is it?
Yes. It is delicious hot chocolate. Is it not?
It is so delicious.
But the reason it's not called hot chocolate is because there's also vanilla in it. And that's why it's called the Owen, because your wonderful barista manager.
There it is. Yep.
The wonderful Owen came up with it.
Right.
And I fell in love with the drink.
And you heard it here.
The boy.
You heard it here first. Owen was the first person to ever put vanilla into a hot chocolate. Owen, we love you. Thank you.
At least in my book, yes. Yeah. The very first person. Yeah.
And I mean, this is also a kid's temp.
Oh, yes.
Isn't that also kind of a piece of the Owen that's not really, really hot?
Well, no, that is only a piece of the Casey that is this drink.
All right.
Anyone else can have the Owen at a normal temperature, but I need to have it at kids temp.
That's great.
Because otherwise
baby mouth?
It's too hot.
Yeah, I'm the exact same.
Too hot.
Yep.
And then I have to wait 20 minutes and I can't. I'm too impatient. Yeah. And then I'll just burn my mouth and I won't be able to taste it. It's a whole horrible thing.
Right.
This is so delicious.
I'm glad that you
like it.
Is
it not?
I think of course it's wonderful.
Yeah, of course it is.
Casey, would you just introduce us? Tell us who you are, where do you work, what do you do? We have 8 listeners so far. And so you know 6 of them.
I was gonna say,
for the 2 that you don't,
in the room right now.
Like my mom. Hi, Mom.
Hi, guys, Mom.
Casey, just tell us who you are and what do you do?
Yeah, so I'm Casey Krafnick. I work at United Way of Central Minnesota as the Community Engagement Manager.
And at least for these 8 people that are listening, we're engaging with that community now.
Yes, exactly. And I'm managing it, aren't
good.
I?
You are. Clearly.
Job done, write the check, and I can go home.
That's right. Well, sweet. Yeah, Casey and I got to know each other through Chamber.
Yes.
And we now are on a committee together called the FLC.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
And so we get to serve on that committee together, and we've just gotten to know each other through all that fun kind of chamber service stuff, which has been really, really great.
Yeah, and fun fact.
Let's hear it.
For the listeners, all 8 of them. You have known my husband longer than you have known me, and longer than I've known my husband, actually. Yeah. So that's a fun fact for our listeners.
Her husband is Axel.
Axel.
And Axel and I sang in something called the St. John's Boys Choir.
Are we supposed to look at the thing?
Well, not really. You can, though. I mean, there is a camera there. You can look, I guess. But yeah, we sang in St. John's Boys Choir together. I don't know if anybody knows, but there's a really great boys choir here in our community. And
there is.
Axel and I had the opportunity to both sing in that together. And,
yes.
Yeah.
And he is still following that kind of footpath and things as a local musician.
That's cool.
He's still
How many times does he gig in a week?
In a week? Oof, that depends on the time of year.
Sure.
Spring and summer are more. They're definitely busier with being able to play on patios and things like that, you know, because we live in Minnesota. I don't know if you know, that's like a cute little thing people say.
That is, isn't it?
Yeah.
I
But
thought maybe you invented it, like
No,
Owen invented
no.
vanilla and hot chocolate.
no, that is all Owen. This I will not take credit for.
All right.
But he teaches music at the Worth Center like 4 days a week.
Cool.
And just for a couple hours each day. And then, I would say most Fridays and Saturdays you will find him on stage somewhere.
Cool.
Yeah.
And do you like going and watching him? Such a slow answer, Casey.
She says, she slowly thinks about it. You know, I love him. And I love it when it's just him, actually.
Yeah.
So I'm a little partial because I'm his wife, you know.
Right.
Listening to just him sing and play the guitar is my favorite. He's involved in a lot of other musical groups and things like that.
Doo-wops.
Doo-wop.
Is that what they're called?
No, bands.
Bands. Oh,
Literally.
That's the word. Okay.
Like there's a duo or a trio, but bands.
Cool.
Yeah, so I'm partial to just when he gigs by himself, but I don't think he does that enough. So when he does that, I will go. But, you know, this year will be 11 years that we've been together, almost 5 years married, and so...
You've heard him a couple of times.
Yes.
Cool.
I've been there, done that a few times, for sure.
So, Casey, what brought you to St. Cloud or Central Minnesota?
Yeah, St. Cloud State.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so I grew up in Faribault, Minnesota.
Go Falcons.
Yes.
Go Falcons.
The Faribault Falcons. And it is pronounced Faribault, not Faribault.
Yeah, right. It's the French influence, right?
It definitely is. There is the fleur-de-lis, that's what it's called, right? Like that symbol.
The crest, yeah.
Everywhere in that town.
Yeah.
And I think it has something to do with like the river and fur trading and being established that way. But yes, Faribault, go Falcons. Fun fact, again, we used to be called the Faribault Fairies. Yeah.
All right.
That was the original mascot.
So obviously meant for like the crossing the river there and something.
One would hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Versus like the
mythical creatures.
Mythical magical creatures.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So.
So you came for school.
I did. I came for school, and I honestly had one of those moments when I toured SCSU that was just like, this is where I'm meant to be.
Oh, that's
It was a
great.
really interesting like epiphany moment when I did my college tour. And honestly, I only toured SCSU because both of my parents went here. They met at St. Cloud State.
Really?
Yeah. And so I thought, they have I went to school for teaching. They have an amazing teaching program. And so I thought, you know what? It'll get me out of a class in high school to go on a college tour. And I did. And I loved it.
Cool. That's great.
I was kind of set on going to Duluth in my brain.
And then one little tour, and
I had that epiphany. I really did.
and you haven't left, right? I mean, have you been here the whole time? Cool. And so, like, home was back in Faribault.
Correct.
Like, what has kept you in the Central Minnesota area? A hunky guitar player, obviously, is one of those.
I fell for a local boy. But I was here for a while prior to us getting together. I mean, so I came to school in, I'm going to date myself, fall of 2006. And, had some fun in college and took longer than 4 years. And honestly, I love St. Cloud. I love the vibrant community. I love the surrounding towns that we have here. Everything is just far enough away or just close enough to be accessible.
Yeah.
But it has like that really awesome, once you find your niche of places and things, that it's the biggest small town you'll ever be a part of.
It's one of my favorite descriptors of St. Cloud. Yeah.
Yes, and it's the culture, it's the people, it's the mix of just everything, you know, being able to find different foods and different music and different art and all of that I love. And so that's that plus the honky guitar player, whatever, who can sing.
And when you want to go to a football game or like, you know, like go see the Timberwolves play or something, like it's an hour away. Like it's not.
That's not football.
Say what? I was right. It was both of them. I was doing both.
I was like,
just in case some of our 8 listeners, like different sports. I was touching both of them. Yeah, but yeah,
Lynx,
the Metro's not that far away.
You know, no, it's not that far away. So. And being able to go to concerts too. I mean, down there at First Ave and the Target Center and things like that. Going to Twins games, it's all great. Yeah, wild.
Okay, so our first course from our little 3-flight coffee or drink course. Our second one, we have a little latte here. It's an iced, right? It's getting warmer out.
Yeah.
A little iced mocha.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cheers. Cute. Oh, yeah.
You gotta.
Yeah. That is very St. Cloud of us.
It's very German. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah. In Germany, you say Prost. You ready for it?
Yeah.
So grab a drink. In Germany, you say Prost.
Prost.
You have to make eye contact.
I did know that.
Prost. Touch the table, and then go.
And you have to maintain that awkward kind of.
I think it's until the clink.
Okay.
I think is the thought there.
And the origin behind that is something like bad luck if you don't or something.
Yeah, right? Something like that.
And do we really think it was the Germans?
Oh, I think that thing exists in many, many cultures. But the Prost thing with the touching the table, I think is maybe unique.
I've never done that. I will be honest, I've never done that with coffee before.
Right.
Only ever other adult beverages.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Okay, Casey. I know a little bit about the United Way, but would you just like unpack for me a little bit about like what are you guys up to right now? What are you doing in our community? And maybe like help us understand a little bit more what you do in your role as the community engagement manager. I almost said outreach instead of engagement, which would have been. But yeah, just tell us a little bit more about United Way.
Yeah. So, fun fact: each United Way. So we are United Way of Central Minnesota, and each United Way is actually autonomous from each other.
Yeah.
So we have our own CEO, we have our own board of directors, and the great thing is everything we raise here stays here in our service area. And so it's really just I like to say we're kind of the big brother, big sister of all the smaller nonprofits. So all of the fundraising that we do goes into the investment in Catholic Charities, in Anna Marie's, but also some of those smaller ones that they don't have as much marketing dollars and things like
infrastructure.
They can't hire switchboard, not all of them. And so, and they just need extra funding to get started. Like feeding area children together is a great one that we helped get going and stuff. So, yeah.
So you are the big brother, big sister of smaller nonprofits.
Yeah.
If I were to raise money for you, do I get to be your big brother then? Like, is that how it works?
Well, you can just be my big brother if you want.
All right.
Or just best friend.
Deal.
Sorry, Taylor.
Maybe just unpack for me a little bit more about like what's some of the impact in our community? Like how does that work? How do you guys do that?
Yeah, so I'm part of the resource development team. So we're more of the people, right? I like to describe that as my job. I am the people person. I go to the chambers and I connect and I build relationships with people and help get them connected to what they're passionate about. Hopefully that's something with United Way, with volunteering or being on a committee. Not always. Yeah. And that's okay. But it's just really getting to know people's why. I love the why behind everyone's story and their passions and stuff. So
This seems, and again, I've heard you talk about your job many, many times, and this is clearly such a good role for you. Like being in the community, being a bright and positive and bubbly, just kind of presence in our community. That it's a perfect kind of role for you. So
well,
I'm glad that you're enjoying it so much.
Yes, thank you. I started in November of last year, so November.
So over a year now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, so 2 years. November of 22.
Okay. Sweet.
Yes. So what, 15 months in or whatever?
Sweet.
Now, and I still love it every single day.
Cool. That's really, really
and
great.
And I feel fulfilled in everything that I do.
Okay, so one of the things you had said, one of the things that you said is that you love getting to know people's whys. I mean, one of my favorite kind of businessy kinds of books is a Simon Sinek book. Have you ever read Start With Why?
I think you suggested that I read that.
Brutal.
I haven't yet.
Brutal. Well, Casey, for someone who cares about why, I would highly recommend. I mean, Simon Sinek in general is just a really, really great. I think he's kind of one of the bright spots in that kind of that kind of sector of business literature. He's so positive, and I mean his stuff is so good. Another one, Leaders Eat Last, is also very, very good. But anyway.
You're gonna have to text those to me because I will never remember.
Great.
I'm not much of a reader, but I love a good audiobook.
They're both on audiobook as well.
If it's read by a good voice, like sometimes that's just,
yeah. Okay, so what is your why then for someone who kind of cares about learning that? What is yours? What kind of gets you going in the morning? What are you kind of excited about?
Human connection.
Yeah.
Honestly, human connection and just being of service. I love to help people. And sometimes I think we think about it, we overanalyze what helping somebody is. Sometimes it's smiling at somebody that doesn't have a smile on their face. Sometimes it's holding the door when someone has their hands full or is pushing a stroller or carrying something. I mean, but at the end of the day, just feeling like I helped someone in some way and I was of service to someone else.
So like this
fills
Saturday,
my bucket.
So this Saturday you're coming over for spring cleanup?
Oh.
Because you love helping.
I do love hanging out with your very adorable son, James.
He is kind of sweet, isn't he?
He is the sweetest. Sweet baby James.
Sweet boy.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, well, sweet.
So maybe. My answer, it's a hard maybe.
Well, I'll shoot you a text. Well, sweet. Okay, thinking of St. Cloud, what are some of the things that you're kind of excited about right now? Like what's happening in our community that you think, man, we're really doing it?
Yeah. I really am excited about, well, kind of tying back to my job too. So I get to oversee some of our community groups, and one of those being Young Leaders United. I'm really passionate about YLU, and getting to plan some of those events and execute those is just really fantastic. I wish that I had it 10 years ago when I was, well, we'll say 10 years ago when I was starting out in my professional career.
Yeah.
It was
And what's kind of the, for YLU, what's the kind of typical age range? Like what's your kind of sweet spot?
Right. I would say like 18 to 30 question mark. Great. You know, I mean, if you consider yourself a young leader, that's the energy I want in the room for sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So we have a couple events coming up this spring. Our third annual Time for Art is coming up in May.
Yeah.
And so that's a really, really awesome event where we get to highlight local artists and also get some volunteer hours for the community.
Time for Art, right? We were kind of a part of that last year, right?
Yes, you were.
Yeah, it was so fun.
Well, you were.
Yeah, our client Jerome was. Yeah, that was a fun thing to kind of be adjacent to or a part of. It was really, and I came to the event and it was so cool.
Yes, you did. And his art piece that he donated actually generated the most volunteer hours.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's really fun.
So
that's
it just was
really
great.
cool. Sweet. We had a couple podcasts ago.
This is delicious.
It is, isn't it? Mm-hmm. I love an ice drink. I think there's something.
Well, with the baby mouth,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Iced, even throughout. Plus, I'm perpetually warm, like throughout winter and everything. So an iced drink, year round. Sorry.
No, you're good. A couple podcasts ago, we had the mayor on, and just talking about like some of the stuff that's happening downtown, and I have just high hopes and high expectations that in the course of the next coming years, there's some just really, really like neat stuff that keeps coming there, and more good development and cool new businesses that keep showing up there. So
yeah, I have high hopes for that too. Our office is downtown, and so more vibrancy would be fantastic. I think we need more street art and things. I think we need more public art pieces to really showcase who we are as a town and be creative.
Do you know what my favorite little piece of art downtown is?
Is it the pencil?
It's the pencil. I think it's so fun. The city art thing is like, they're a little bit odd, they're a little peculiar. And I just think like a big pencil downtown that looks like someone chewed on it. It's such a fun, kind of goofy, sweet, really creative thing. And I love seeing it. I love that it's down there. And shout out to my friend Mary Bruno. How fun that she got to be a part of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And my mother-in-law.
Wait, for real?
Yeah, Axel's mom was a part of that.
Yeah, Solveig. That is so great. Again, because of knowing Axel since being in the boys' choir together.
Yep.
I've known her for a long time too.
Yeah.
What was she involved with in that?
Yeah, she worked at the Paramount, and she actually was a big part of curating that piece and getting that down there. And so at the grand opening, you'll see pictures of her.
Fun. That's cool.
Being a part of a already established family in town is pretty cool. Like, I can't almost go anywhere without someone saying, "Oh, you're Axel's wife," or you're, Solveig's daughter-in-law, or something like that. So, or, "Oh, you're Krafnick," and I'm like, "Yeah." Are we good or bad? Yeah. Good or bad here? Sometimes it's like, "Oh, you're Axel's wife," and I'm like, "Yes?" Question mark. I mean, depending on who it is. So. But it's cool to also have that name recognition.
Yeah, that's kind of fun. For being, like a transplant, kind of like getting plugged into a family that lots of people know. And
100%. The VFW just down the road has that last name everywhere from my Axel's grandfather was in Pearl Harbor.
Yeah. Do you know that VFW has the best burger in town?
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I've been in that building one time.
Until maybe like 6 weeks ago, I hadn't been there ever. And Taylor and I had this because Taylor and I are always on kind of the hunt, like finding a good place for wings. And just like across the street, I was like, "Oh, the VFW's there. I wonder if they have wings." And so I called. I said, "Hey, we're going to come for lunch. Do you have to be a veteran?" Because I didn't know.
Oh, you didn't know the rules. Right.
I didn't know the rules. And she said no.
There are no rules.
No, I think there are some rules.
Are there?
I think so, yeah. Like, this maybe needs to be fact checked.
Don't quote us.
But like, I think, because there's also like a Legion, right? Which also has a military bent, right?
Yeah.
The difference between a Legion and a VFW, so saith the Google that the article that I read. VFW, do you know what it stands for? Veterans of Foreign Wars. So I think the VFW is geared towards men and women who served in like active combat, whereas like the Legion is for anybody that has served in any of the branches of the military. Anyway, I think that's what the.
I mean, that would make sense then if Grandpa Ralph Krafnick was in Pearl Harbor,
right?
Then, and he was a VFW master, whatever that great grand poobah of things is,
right? So we went in there. So we went in to go get wings. Turns out they don't have wings. We were like, "Oh, kind of a bummer."
You didn't ask that?
I didn't ask.
You just asked.
Well, because we were kind of going. We are gonna go for lunch anyway, and then we got there, and she's like, the burgers are really good. And then I was like, okay, great. So ordered a burger, no bun, okay, and it was a hand pressed patty. I don't know of maybe any. And again,
Like a
seriously,
smash burger?
throw it in the comments
Okay.
if there are other places in town that have a hand pressed. Yeah, Mom, if you know of a place where there's a hand pressed patty in town, let me know. But yeah, it's a hand pressed patty, which is like that's like a real hamburger, like a burger you'd make at home. And so we like going and having our little lunch meetings over there sometimes.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, maybe next time shoot me a message.
Great, we'll do.
I love that you didn't ask though when you called.
About the wings, because we were going anyway. We were just looking for wings, but we were going to go for lunch, and so we just went and figured it out there.
Okay.
All right, so Casey, for our third and final course in our coffee flight, what's better than dessert? And so we have ourselves here, we have a blended vanilla latte. A little bit sweet, but
it smells delicious.
The espresso's from Colombia, kind of nutty, really delicious. It's so good. It's so good. Isn't that fun?
This is my happy place.
Oh, good.
Right here in this cup.
Good.
Yeah. It's a little sweeter than the last one, and I tend
dessert.
towards this. Yes, fair.
Yeah. I'm bent a little bit the opposite direction. I like my sweet stuff like a little like less sweet.
Oh, so I can just.
No, I'm gonna no. Get out of here. I'm gonna have that. Casey, what are some of your favorite little hidden gems in St. Cloud? What are some of the spots? It could be a restaurant. It could be some fun place. It could be a park or something fun to do. But what are some of your favorite things about our little community? Some places to go.
The White Horse. Now I have wings on my brain,
Yep.
and the Dave's wings from the White Horse.
So
good. The dry rub. Yes.
Have you ever had the Brussels sprouts
Yes.
at White Horse?
Talk
I
about
think they
two
might
favorite
be.
things,
I think they might
Dave's
be
wings,
my
Brussels
favorite
sprouts.
Brussels sprouts I've ever had.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
100%.
so good.
I don't think I even liked Brussels sprouts until Solveig made me try them once.
Well done.
Yeah.
Well done, mother-in-law Solveig.
Yeah. Broadened my horizons. And I think that too, like, I had never really branched out. I mean, growing up in Faribault, like, different ethnic foods and things besides maybe like a Mexican place or something like that, wasn't around. So I love trying other cultures' food.
Yeah.
And we have that here. You know, we get to try the Indian food at Kohinoor or Star of India, and we get to try the Thai Filipino food at Arroy, and just all of that. I just love it.
Yeah, sweet.
Or the samosas. Yeah, just all of it.
So, and for me, one of the things that I love, and I think I'm just kind of maybe thinking about it just because of like the season we're heading into. I can't believe that we have Munsinger Garden. Like, it seems like for a community of our size to have such a big and incredible like flower garden like that.
Yes.
It's like it's like absolutely remarkable.
And it's a place, I mean, people come from all over Minnesota to come and check it out.
Yeah. I absolutely love it.
Yes.
I absolutely love it.
Can I tell you a fun secret?
Oh, please.
I was actually going to tell you this even off the record, but I will share it with you, Caetano's mom. I love flowers. Flowers bring me so much happiness, and I recently started, so you know how writers have like a ghostwriter name?
Some of them have.
Yes,
right,
sorry,
yep.
yes. Some. I recently started an Instagram account under
a secret one?
a ghostwriter name. That is just flower pictures that I've taken, flower photography, and
are you going to share it here?
I love it.
Are you going to share it? Are you going to drop them deets?
Ooh, I don't know. Then it's not
secret,
not anonymous anymore.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know.
Just whisper it, and it's just us. What's the
Well, you know, I was trying to channel my inner switchboard when I was thinking of the name, actually.
Why wouldn't you just call your friends actual switchboard?
Because I don't have the money to put you on retainer.
Just ask. Just ask. You were talking about a name.
Because
That'd be so fun.
do you remember the last time that I asked you about a name that I was thinking of? I got shut down so fast.
Tell me.
So
what
fast.
happened?
Remember Elevate United? You were like, no.
No. I mean, am I not supposed to tell you? Am I not supposed to tell you?
I think you're supposed to be like nice about it.
I wasn't mean. I mean,
you weren't, but you were not like.
I wasn't into it.
No.
All right. So I lost
So-
it because
so,
one name
yeah.
that you brought me, I wasn't
The one
into.
and only, and then I just got like shut down so quick. I didn't want to be. I don't know. It was. This is just mine. Like it's
Got it.
secret.
So if I go to Instagram, which
Yeah.
I would need to find out how to get on somewhere. I think we have Instagram. I'd have to figure out how to get onto it. And I searched for like hashtag lilies, hashtag sunflowers, hashtag peonies,
No, I don't put any of like the names of the flowers on there.
hashtag Axel is a hunk. Is
I don't
that?
think
I'm
I've
gonna
ever
find
used
it.
that
There
one.
it is.
I don't
Do you
think
guys
I've
get
ever
that?
used that one. You'll have to make sure you spell his name right though, because it's not the traditional spelling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But no, that has nothing to do with my. He doesn't even know about it. I haven't told him.
Stop it.
No, I haven't.
Stop.
I just started this like 3 days ago.
How many times have you posted?
Like 28.
Nuh-uh.
Yes, because
in 3 days.
Yes, just because I was so excited to finally just get them all out there. I don't care who likes them. I don't care if they get none. Like, I'm just obsessed with the fact that I've finally done this because I've been thinking about it for a while.
That's really fun.
Yeah.
So obviously these are all photos that are like in your camera roll.
Yeah,
or
that
your
I've
catalog.
taken already.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
They're my original, no filter.
Right. And
Yeah.
so you've done 28 in 3 days. Like,
Something like
can
that.
you keep up that pace? Like,
No.
no.
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
So just maybe sharing them to the story. I don't think you understand how it works, so I won't go into details.
But there's someone.
It's
But
for
there's
the-
someone that does know
for the
who
younger,
I could ask.
the younger ones like Caleb.
Taylor, can you tell me how to? You can help me with that. Okay. All right.
I said younger.
He's so much.
Oh.
He's so much younger than I am.
Oh really?
Yeah. Don't let that big thick beard fool you. Yeah, he's a wee little babe.
A wee little lad.
Not true. I think he's
You
like
need to stir this.
he's 31.
So delicious.
31 now?
Shut up.
And I'm 38, pushing 39.
I know that.
Yeah.
Well, because Axel's
Axel.
the same age.
Yeah.
How old
Alright.
do you think I am?
You're 2 years younger than I am.
Forgot you knew that. Dang it.
Right. This isn't our first conversation.
I know, but it's just
Sometimes
fun.
I mean-
it's just fun when people guess.
All right.
Because I do not get offended at all.
29. I think here's the deal. The first time you asked me, I thought you were way younger.
Yes.
Than what you
That's what everyone
than what you
says.
are. Yeah. Okay. And do you have any like goals with your secret hidden Instagram account?
No.
No, you're just doing
It
it.
is my pure happiness.
Fun.
Yeah, and like I've followed a bunch of other like flower photography accounts and people in like Belgium and Russia and other like are liking my photos.
That's
and I'm
really
just
fun.
like, what the heck?
That's cool.
I don't know, small.
And are you taking all of these photos with your phone? Is this or
As a photographer, would you be upset if I said yes?
no? Not even
Okay.
a tiny bit.
I
Oh,
am.
That's great.
Yes. I have a very great camera on my phone and
So as does everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean the camera that exists on an iPhone is.
it's not an
I guess
iPhone.
mine is an iPhone. Yeah. I just mean in general.
I was like-
These cameras have gotten so good. And the best camera is the one that you have with you, you know? And the one that you'll actually pick up and use. That's what the best camera is.
Yeah, and I mean, this is right now just a fun hobby, just for me type thing.
Yeah.
If it were to ever grow bigger, I might come to a seasoned veteran photographer and ask camera questions and whatever.
I might always steer you back to your phone.
Maybe.
There's a decent chance. Like, I mean, if
as
you
long
like,
as it's not an iPhone.
right? Yeah. We don't need to get into that again, Casey. There is something kind of fun, like, so, you know, I've been a photographer now for, I don't know, I think pushing 20 years in some capacity.
It's almost as old as Taylor.
I've been a photographer almost as old as Taylor is, as long as Taylor's been alive. But, you know, we have big, nice cameras with kind of fancy lenses and all, you know, all that stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And as I am getting older and as I'm getting, I don't know, maybe it has nothing to do with age. But just like where I'm at in kind of my like personal photo journey, I'm gravitating to like some older and not even just like, I've always loved film. Like I love shooting film. So like I have a handful of cameras that are much older than I am. And that's really fun, right? But I'm talking about just like even like older digital cameras that have like funky little grain, you know, like a funky little grain, and they're small and they're compact.
The original filter.
Yeah, just some of that kind of stuff. I'm kind of into that right now. And again, because my camera is really big, I'm like looking around for it, like it's like sitting next to me. But
I know.
It's
Mine's
big.
over there.
It's big, and you know, it's just not always easy to like have that around. Like if I'm at home and I'm playing with my kids and stuff, it's just not real conducive to have a big giant camera with a big lens there. But I could put a cool, fun little camera in my pocket, and even, I mean, in the last handful of years, do you know what Instax is? The Instax Mini. I mean, I'm about to take one. The little printouts, the little Polaroids.
Yeah,
I'm about to take one of
one.
you for the podcast.
Really?
Yeah, but
Oh,
like
cute.
that absolutely dumpy little camera. I mean, the camera itself costs like $60. There is nothing in the photo world that costs $60. Like nothing. And this dumpy little camera at $60 takes some of the most fun pictures. They're not high quality. It's dumpy. And I just love it. I love that it spits out the photo. It's so fun. Like I'll be walking around with that camera. I'll be like, hey, can I take your picture? And still tons of people don't know that this exists. And I'll take the picture. And then when the camera starts producing the photo, like it starts coming out, people freak out because it's like, oh, it's like a Polaroid.
Yeah.
And I mean, in our office, we have this giant wall of like all of our like friends and clients and stuff from shoots and all around the world and just all this like fun stuff. It's just this like wall of dumpy little photos. And
do I get to be one of the dumpy little photos?
100%.
Okay.
100% you get to be one of our dumpy little photos on the wall.
I don't know if it has to do with like the age, but Axel is the exact same way when it comes to like that picture coming out. So he bought me one of those. I have a pink one. It was in my stocking one year. But his favorite photos from our wedding are from that teeny little camera.
Yeah.
That and they're grainy and they're out of focus. And it's his favorite because it's like tangible.
Yeah.
It's not, there's no digital copy of this anywhere. And so that's his favorite. So it must be a 38-year-old thing.
One of the most incredible things, I mean, so much of our digital world now, because of like advancements in like cloud technology, right now, every photo that you take is like being stored up on the cloud. And so presumably we'll have those forever.
I don't even understand the cloud like at all.
It's a math thing or a science thing. I don't know how it works, but but there was this entire generation where people had moved away from film cameras and moved to digital, but none of the cloud technology had it developed yet. And so like that.
Oh, like an SD card.
Yeah, and most people just kept them on their computers, right?
Oh, fair.
So think about like when you go home, right? You could probably right now, if your parents still live in your childhood home, you could walk. Yeah, you could go to grandma and grandpa's house and you could walk and you know exactly where that drawer is and you open that drawer and it's full of old photos and there's old photo books and like because photos.
I have those.
Yeah.
But I printed them off.
Sure. But there's this, for generations, cameras were ubiquitous enough that everybody had a camera.
What was that giant word you just used?
Ubiquitous.
Spell it, dare you.
Oh, no, I have raging dyslexia.
Oh, okay.
Spelling ubiquitous, it would be a challenge.
There's
I'm gonna
probably
try.
like a silent something in there.
I'm gonna try. just to be honest, honest, right?
Yes.
Ubiquitous.
Just kidding. I'm sorry. Okay. Serious. Yep.
And I'm gonna try.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try.
I know.
And we don't even have our phone, so we can't even fact check it.
Nope.
Mom, you can fact check it. Ubiquitos. Ubiquitous. I missed it.
So close.
Did I?
There's a U at the end.
Oh wow!
I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I mean, can we do this?
Yes. Oh
Woo.
my goodness.
Anyway, cameras were ubiquitous enough that everybody had them, and they were getting their pictures printed. Which, like, once that's printed, like, it's kind of in your family's milieu. It's kind of in your system forever. And then we transitioned to digital, and all of those photos just lived on laptops and hard drives.
Yeah.
And those pictures, you only have them as long as you have that computer, or until that computer crashes. There is an entire generation of people whose photos are gone forever. I think 50 years from now, we'll look back and we will have all of the photos of early photography generations, because they're all printed and they're still pasted inside of books. And then there will be this massive gap in like kind of the photo record. Granted, there's going to be a whole bunch of them on Facebook, but it's going to be a picture of your cat and of your dumb food and whatever. But as far as like the pictures from your events, or like kids are out playing, or you're standing by the grill and people just like pick up a little digital camera from 2004, those photos, like those are on hard drives somewhere. And you always have them because they're on a hard drive, but then you lose that computer, or that computer dies and you don't have the power
The charger
cord.
doesn't work anymore. I have a Canon at
And so
home.
those photos are gone. But now because of the cloud, we'll have a lot more of those, I think, in perpetuity. But I think there's going to be a window, early digital, where there's a window of photos that are missing in our world.
You heard it here, folks. You heard it first. He called it. He did.
I mean, well, I guess we'll see. And I'm sure I'm not the only person who has said that. But
The Owen of this whole concept.
that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, Casey.
Yes.
Kind of as we're closing here, one of the things that I love to do is, do you have an unpaid advertisement? This is something that you want to plug, like in a normal podcast where there's lots of listeners and ads. They kind of like, they jump in and give some plug for something. This is just an unpaid advertisement.
So it hasn't been, maybe by the time this airs, it will be announced.
Great.
But United Way of Central Minnesota is putting on a human foosball tournament.
That's so fun. That's so fun.
How cool. Yeah, so really excited about that.
It's cool.
It's in June, so.
And like, you put a team together.
Not many people know about it.
You put a team together, and like, this is the thing where like, you hold on to each other's hands, or like ropes or something.
You hold on to like PVC pipe in front of you, and you can only use your feet, and you have to.
And
work
you have to stay in your
together.
spot.
Yep, you have to work with your person, and yeah.
Cool. Will you be in it?
No.
No. No.
No, just helping run the event,
Yeah, fun.
and floating around and everything like that. It will be with Shields, and yeah.
It's cool.
Shields is helping us put it on.
So Casey's unpaid advertisement is for human foosball.
Yes. Yes.
Wonderful.
100%.
My unpaid advertisement today, for the third time, I'm gonna strongly recommend to you and to my mom, hi mom, the book by Simon Sinek, Start With Why. It's so good. It's a great book if you're thinking about, why is it that you do anything? Why should you care about business, or your business, or the thing that you do, and kind of what gets you up in the morning? It's a great book that I would strongly commend to everyone.
Yeah.
Casey, thank you for coming and joining.
You're very
I think you
welcome.
are guest number 4
Coffee
on our Chit Chat podcast. So thank you for coming and even being one of our guests before this has even aired. We appreciate it so much.
Honored.
As we're getting this going, and we hope that the Chit Chat podcast is just a place where we can have good, fun conversations. about fun, silly, nothing things, and about St. Cloud and our great community and the people like you
Yes.
and the places and businesses and organizations that make our community great. So thanks for coming.
Thank
And
you for having me.
yeah, absolutely. I'll look forward to seeing you again soon.
Yes, you too.